Three, two, one.
Good morning.
What's up? Good morning. Happy Friday.
It is Friday, February 26th. This is the John L. Scott Talent Market Update, where I'm filling up a cup here. So if you're wondering, what is he doing off on the side? We're going to get you a little bit of news about the market. We're going to let you know some listing open house opportunities that are coming up this weekend. Good morning, Donna. I see you again. And how are you doing?
Doing good. I can't believe that this is the last Friday in February and we're in March on Monday. But,
We've got our marching orders.
Just such as the years and the months go by faster and faster, it seems like we're in warp speed.
Yeah. Well, especially, I mean, we talk about the market conditions, everything else. And considering that we are in that on a daily basis, it certainly feels that way. We haven't had a lull to speak of, even though, for some, depending on what area you're in the real estate process, it can be a little bit frustrating. Actually, it can be a little frustrating on both sides because, yes, Penny, just like you're saying there, because it's crazy. I mean, you have craziness on both the seller side, the listing side, the agent side. All around.
It's just crazy how fast time is flying. Yeah. So, but it's all good. It's all good. And we, I think one of the things is just making sure that we stay connected, because as fast as time is flying, it's so easy to get caught up in just life and business and all the other things that you just lose connection just with people. And so I'm glad that we're here because we can actually have some connection and we're coming up literally on nearly a year that we've been consistent with being present on and broadcasting. I know that the market updates kind of started a little bit later, but just with Talent Talk, we were doing it every day when the pandemic started. When we got on lockdown, we were like, we are not going to be locked down. We're going to show up, so this has been good.
Sure.
Totally.
Well, you mentioned about connection. I mean, that's a really huge thing. And it's been one of the things that this has helped for us to do, but also just finding ways of doing it during different lockdowns. We've had so many restrictions. It was nice. It's been nice being able to actually go out, sit in a restaurant, to eat and be with some other people. There was a local bar that actually has some karaoke out. I mean, for the first time in ever so long, I actually grabbed the microphone and what would we say? Spit some verses.
Yeah, I think I saw a little snippet video of you. It looked like you just went right from work. You still had your work gear on and everything. Right? I was like, wow, he's on it.
Yeah, just have a little fun with it.
Yeah. And
but part of that connection is remembering people around us. And we have let's see here, as we do this, we have a happy anniversary to Darren Taylor out of the Lacey office. That is tomorrow.
Anniversary. Yes, tomorrow.
And then we have a couple birthdays coming up. Cassidy Perkins out of the Lacey or DuPont office, right?
And Lacey office, and Jared Rafferty out of our Olympia office. Happy birthday this week. Woo. Next week.
It's going to take me back to my Red Robin days. Happy birthday on this your special day.
Da, 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 da.
Oh, I can do the whole thing. I just shouldn't.
Yeah, that's fine. So we also have, real estate. When we talk about just activity, we talk about real estate activity, and we have some new listings that is Cassidy is Olympian. Thank you, Donna. We hit all three offices today, right?
What time is it?
What did you say?
What time is it?
I know. What time is it? Wake up. So we we do have some listing activity, some new listings that have come on the market.
Yeah.
We need more, like more
Well, we'll
listings.
talk about that.
Our first one, though, this is Spanaway. Cute Rambler in Spanaway, listed by Susie out of our Olympia office. 1716 158th Street Court South. It is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1350 square feet. Look, it is on 0.44 acre lot. So just shy of a half an acre. So talk about space. So it's a stunning remodel, classic Rambler. It's a contemporary gym. It's got some custom features, a front deck, a new HVAC system with all new ducting, heat pump, custom cabinets and shelving, quality all throughout, a huge deck, outdoor space, fire pit off the dining area, completely updated baths with contemporary styles and colors, a suite with its own access to the, oh my gosh, like all of this in this packed up in this 1,350 square foot Rambler, and there's no homeowners association. So you'll definitely want to see this. It is open tomorrow and Sunday from 11 to 2. So this one's not going to last. $393,000, and it just came on the market yesterday. So I wouldn't be surprised if this home already has tons of interest on it. So you definitely want to check it out this weekend.
Yeah, and continuing on that single level living, this is a home located at 1837 Windflower Lane Southeast in Olympia. It is a 2-bedroom, 1.75 bath, 2,377 square foot on in a 55 plus community. I'll read this for you, and really look at the price: $289,900. One of the most spacious homes in coveted Laurel Oaks, the premier 55 plus gated community in Lacey, Olympia. One owner home, now ready for its next owner, featuring a large living room with gas fireplace, dining room, office, theater room, and an eat-in kitchen with spacious island and pantry. Cathedral ceilings and skylights make the rooms feel open and airy. Huge master bedroom with walk-in closet and double vanity. Lovely covered lanai irrigation system. 2-car garage with ample cabinets. Storage plus separately doored. Finished in tool room, workshop, AC and ceiling fans for warmer days. Very well maintained over the years. A must-see for sure. And again, $289,900.
Wow.
And that's from Garrett in our Olympia office.
Wow, that's a good one. And we have another one. You have another opportunity. This one just popped back on the market. It is listed by Scott Hollis out of our Lacey office. And this is one, you talk about affordable housing. This one is listed at $154,500. It is in the South Hill, Puyallup, 15418 122nd Avenue Court East. This is also a 1-story. We had the 1-story theme going on. No 2 stories this week that we're talking about. And it is a 3-bed, 2-bath, just under 1,400 square feet in a well-maintained 55 and over community called Viking Estates. I'm just going to read this real quick. It says, from the sizable living room opening to the kitchen, newly painted inside and out, 2-car garage with extensive storage, retreat this spring into your partially fenced, low maintenance home with an easy care yard, backyard with stone inlay, ready for barbecue, gazebo, fenced garden area, shed, making your own personal space possibilities endless. It's a great setting to call home, close to shopping and all other amenities, and also has RV parking available. And it is in a community where there is a space rent, and it also includes garbage and sewers. So $154,500 on this amazing little Rambler. Definitely have another opportunity to check it out.
And as we do, we end this to talk to you about Mill Pond, Olympia's finest community, brand new construction. You should see we've got the sales team out there. Call to schedule an appointment today. Also, we have it as an open house from Friday through Wednesday, 12 to 5. But set up an appointment so you can really view the community, see what is being built, the construction times, everything else. These homes are really going fast, and they are so incredibly beautiful.
Awesome. Yes.
How was that?
Very good. And again, this is, I was just looking at the weather and you're talking about check it out and go out. And I'm like, if the weather holds up like it is today, it's going to be a beautiful, I feel like I need to go out for a walk or need to,
there it is.
Definitely get out this weekend.
Look at the blue water.
Yeah. And the blue sky.
It just is such a gorgeous day. I'm looking forward to being outside at least a little bit. I have brought, I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to do it or not. I hope I am. I actually brought my running clothes and my shoes with me. Now, to be honest with you, I actually brought them on Wednesday. So they've been sitting here waiting for me to actually run with them. But I am ready. I am prepared. Today is probably the nicest day I've seen in a little while.
Yeah, you'll do it if you make time to do it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It is still going to be cold, though. I don't even think we're going to hit 50 today, but it is beautiful. So
I'm okay with that.
It'll be a nice brisk run.
Yeah, that's all the more incentive to run faster.
Right.
Okay. So at this point, typically we do something where we talk about some more localized news. But the local news has really been the same story for quite a while. So we went back and just took a look at some of the things that were closing out through last year, and then we'll get into some headlines. But you know what? When we get into there, we actually may start to see a little shift. It's going to be interesting to see. And we'll tell you why in just a moment. But first, good morning, Mr. Chung.
Hey, Steve. I just love his mad dog picture.
He's almost mean mugging it.
Yeah, right.
And then actually, you know what? Steve has a class coming up here right after Talent Talk, after this market update, a forms class. And I think we could actually share out that link as well. If you have been interested, you're in real estate, you want to know a little bit more about forms, we got you covered, right?
Absolutely. And here's the thing is making sure that we stay on top of the forms that are existing so that and that we know them and can help and guide people through. We have to know all of the forms within the Northwest real estate, Northwest multiple listing service forms that they provide to us to help you. But there are a ton of changes in those forms this next week, a ton.
Yeah.
And definitely want to make sure that we are on top of those so that we can help guide our buyers and our sellers through the changes because they are significant changes.
Yeah. On Monday, now more than ever, you need to know your forms.
Mm.
You know the only bad thing about doing that? I have to clean that up still.
It's only a few papers, so we should have gotten the confetti. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was a lot of. I should have chosen a smaller stack of papers. Steve just said that it's actually canceled today, and I think that's actually in anticipation for Monday, which is when the new forms come out, and it is something that we are going to want to get into. So, yep. We're all
sharpening his tool today.
So the tools of the trade. Mm-hmm. All right. So we'll just do a quick little glance, and we know a bit of this, but it's hard to know where you're going if you don't know where you've been. So that is kind of the purpose of what we're looking at here. And I'll flip this across here. We won't spend too much time, but when we're forecasting out for 2021, we can look at the numbers that were there and take probably the top three of the top voices inside of real estate, Fannie Mae, National Association of Realtors, and the Mortgage Brokers of America, looking at the transaction volumes that were in 2020 and what is being forecast into 2021. And we already know we started off at a very heightened pace coming into 2021 from January into February. We're going to see what those numbers are coming up here, but it certainly has been busy. Our biggest hindrance has just been, what is it, Davina?
The I word.
Yeah, inventory. So we're forecasting between Fannie Mae 6.71, 7.5, 7.18, a pretty good increase over an already heightened volume that we had in 2020 on that transactional level. These are the mortgage rates. We've talked about mortgage rates for a very long time. Mortgage rates have been really kind of a flat, under 3% for nearly 7-8 months. It feels like such an incredibly long time. When we last looked at this chart that Freddie Mac was forecasting, this line that you see right here, 21 and 22, was really a flat line. You can see based on the economy getting a little bit stronger, a little healthier, that projection is starting to move up a little bit. So what is that going to mean? We'll talk about it. Rising interest rates, reduced housing buying. You can read this, but it really emphasizes what we just talked about a moment ago. Mortgage rate projections in through 2022, the first quarter. You can see the anticipation is about 2.92 first quarter. You're going to see that feels really right about right. Third quarter, 3.07, 3.17. Many people are forecasting by the end of the year, we're going to be closer to about 3.5% as well. So just interesting, something to keep an eye on. Existing month supply of inventory of existing homes. This is one that really is illustrative of what's going on, because there is that I word again, Davina, inventory. December of 2019, 3.6 months of inventory. That's a seller's market, but it's not a heightened seller's market. It was just a seller's market. 1.9 months. We're in a frenzy, and we feel it, right?
We definitely do feel that. And even as we were talking about the interest rates going up, we're so spoiled right now with the super low interest rates. We're like, oh my gosh, 3%. Oh my gosh, 3.5%. Still super low when it comes to affordability and interest rates being so low and increasing the affordability of homes for consumers. So
ask your grandpa what their interest rate was.
Right. And people were still buying homes. Like interest rates were at 1.17%. Can you imagine? And home ownership was still thriving. So
there's always owning your own home. There's so many advantages to it. And even if you're renting, that rent is paying somebody else's mortgage. So, I mean, there's always an advantage in there, and the rates are going to be what the rates are. We adjust.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You got to pay to live somewhere.
Yep. So here are top 3 reasons homeowners didn't, because that inventory has been the cursed eye that hasn't been out there. That inventory hasn't been there. So top 3 reasons, homeowners didn't put their house on the market in 2020. 31% was financial uncertainty. What was going to happen within the market with COVID? The other part, all of it really feels like it was COVID related, didn't it? Like 34%, life is too uncertain right now. Just what's going to happen with vaccines or whatever. 25% COVID-19 health concerns. It just was, last year was such an aberration from any other year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Oh, and I was just going to say, even in within the military community, orders got put on hold. So
yes, yeah,
yeah. So
people didn't, and then when some of those orders finally came, like they came in at weird times. People didn't know when they were going to leave, and then they would have to leave very suddenly. It's just an odd year all around.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad
we're surviving.
We always adjust, don't we?
We do, and I think that we've realized this last year how resilient we all are, and that change has really, being able to adapt to change has totally strengthened us as a whole. So we're not afraid anymore.
I don't know. The gyms were closed for a long time, so I lost just a touch of strength, but I'm bound and determined to get it back. Yeah, I see. We talk about intention. That was kind of like what I was talking about with the running shoes and actually having it with me. At the very least, I've got the ability to do it. The same thing for working out. I'm so happy that the gyms are back to being open. Haven't gone quite as much as I want to yet, but man, I'm so happy to be able to see it. I'm so happy to be able to see people out and starting to resume even a semblance of normalcy.
Yeah, schools, and this is a whole nother thing, schools starting back in person. again, at least on the public school system. We know that private schools have been going for quite a while, but
I
public
know.
schools, kids are going back to school now.
I have such mixed feelings about that though, because it's so late in the school year, and because so many parents have gotten accustomed to the schedule and the new dynamic of half days, and it's interesting. I
It
feel
is.
for everybody all around on the scenario.
It's another change, right? Parents have adapted. First it was like, okay, we're staying home, and it's like, and then finally now we've adapted to having the kids at home, and now they're going back to school, and it's like, well, some is like hallelujah, and some is like, So yeah, totally a difference of feelings there. So.
Yeah, for Donna opened up an email for the for Stilcombe High School that they are going to be. It sounds like after the week after St. Patrick's Day, they're going to start on the half days, which is amazing. Like almost, I think that's exactly a year since they were out, isn't it? Or almost exactly a year.
Yeah, just over a year. I think I want to say it was probably the second week in March that things. And now here we go back to back in. It's been a year out of school. Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
March 22nd. Yeah. Goodness gracious. So got a couple of headlines. We always try to wrap it up by 9. We try to get you a little news. Hopefully you have a little fun with us as well. But for some headlines, we've got these over here. This is what we're talking about. Mortgage rates. Oh my goodness. I saw this and I was like, 2.97. What? Because it's been such like almost high mid 2s for such a long time. 2.97, that's a border of 3. But then after a moment, a breath, it's like, that's still so low.
It is. Yeah. And then just saying that and reiterating, it's still a great time. And if you have not refinanced and you have rates that are in that, upper 3, mid 3, upper 3-4%, reach out to your mortgage servicer or your local lender and see what the advantage would be of refinancing, because you might find even still that it saves you over the course of your loan. It could save you tens of thousands of dollars, so.
Either that, or you might find out that because of same market rates, everything else, this might be the ideal time for, if this is not your dream home, to utilize price jumping so that you can be able to go from this home, sell in an accelerated market, be able to have the higher equity, be able to take advantage of the low rates on your dream home, and really be moved forward.
Yeah,
so
definitely there's options out there for you.
And if you don't know what that means, contact us. We'll let you know.
Yeah, we just had conversations recently about bridge loans where you don't have to worry about selling your home, and in this market, it's hard to find something, and wondering if you're going to be, without a new home, and where are you going to be? Are you going to be displaced? And so there are bridge loan and other options that we can talk to you about and connect you with some professionals that can help you with not having to go contingent on a property sale. So.
Yeah, just like we were talking earlier about intentions, about running or anything else, the key to this market is strategy, and having someone in your corner to help you with those strategies to achieve your goals.
Yep.
This is just news. It's not anything to go one way or the other about. It's just the FHA is actually extending the forbearance period to 18 months. It's just kind of, the crazy one is the one down below, the last highlighted one down here. With the new extension set in motion, some borrowers may now be in forbearance through August 31st of 2022. Man alive. Now, hopefully, we've seen such a decrease in forbearance. Things in the economy are improving. Hopefully, this is more of a safety net than a necessity for people. And I would think it would be too.
Oh, that's the hope. And we just don't know what this really means. There's speculation that there could be more foreclosures on the market after, or there's also, the reality that people have been in the forbearance process, but paying their mortgages and not behind. And there also is the reality that even within, if you're not able to pay your mortgage, there's people that still have equity. So there's options to sell. And so we just don't know what that's going to mean.
All right. Let's talk about that big I again. One more moment. Are there going to be more homes to buy this year? This is from Keeping Current Matters. We've got 3 points for you here. And yes, there will be more homes on the market. It is for sure. First is homeowners who didn't sell last year. In 2020, many decided to pause their decision that they might go on the market. Just so much uncertainty between the pandemic and finances, just health, just a lot of things that caused concern for homeowners that might want to sell, and also just even pauses in jobs or relocations, etc. Right. Number 2, more new homes will be built. That's the good thing. Even though we've also talked about the cost of new homes have really significantly gone up from lumber, supplies, appliances, etc. But builders are ready to build. So, and the demand is really, really there. And then the last part is, those impacted financially by the economic crisis, there are a lot of recovery. And again, just like we see kind of conversely that the mortgage rates are rising a bit because of the health of the economy being on recovery. That is a good thing too for buyers and potentially sellers being able to make those moves. And again, having the strategies to be successful with those moves and sellings. Sound good?
Yes, and there's a lot, definitely a lot to consider. And I think there are people that are sitting on the edge of their seats thinking, okay, the flood of homes that are going to come out on the market, and we don't see that there's going to be a flood. There may be a trickle, and if interest rates go up maybe a little bit, maybe it'll help soften prices a little bit. Who knows? But we shall see.
Yeah, the way I liken it is to we're in a car that's been driving at like 200 miles an hour. I mean, that might be a little extreme. So, I mean, maybe scale it back. We've been driving at like 140 miles an hour. And when you say a softening, that might be bringing it back and scaling it back to like 100 miles an hour. Comparative to 140 miles an hour, it's going to feel really slow. But you look at, say, the speed limit as being 60 miles an hour. We're still well above the speed limit. That's what a softening might more feel like. It feels abrupt because it's such a difference from the pace we were at. But it's going to remain heightened for quite a bit.
For sure.
This is an interesting one. So we got two last ones to wrap up. We'll skip past this. All of the links for all the articles are in the comments. So you can see those. Always want to give you a little bit of a taste, but then you can go back and get the information. This is kind of interesting. 44% of millennials would buy a home from photos alone. Like it says 80% from this survey, 80% would buy it sight unseen. 44% would actually buy it just by seeing the photos. And that's kind of a function of the inventory, lack of inventory, the pace, the competition for homes. Can you imagine buying a home just based on photos?
Yeah, we could say it just sounds like it's, not something that people would choose to do, but, we see it, and we see it a lot. That's why it's important to make sure that you're not just taking pictures with your phone, which, our phones have great photo capacity, but there's nothing better than real, true professional photography and video tours and 3D tours on your listings, because people are going to be making offers sight unseen, and buyers that are out of the area specifically, or maybe the work schedules or whatever that looks like, are saying, you know what, I like it enough. I mean, usually the buyers that have not stepped into homes yet and they're just getting started are going to want to get in the door. But once people become familiar with communities and areas, they're confident on just making an offer without even seeing the house when they're familiar with the communities. So definitely not surprising, but
well, all the more reason. all the more reason great representation, expert representation is a necessity, especially in a market like this, to not only be able to get under contract, but to make sure that you're really well protected as you go through a transaction and know all your rights and you're able to exercise any of those. And what's amazing too is this is talking about millennials. Millennials are the largest first-time home buying group, and they have been derided for such a long time for being millennials. But guess what? They're growing up, they're maturing, and they are really becoming a big part of everything that goes on around us. So good job, millennials.
Christy's in the background, clapping profusely.
Yeah, I mean, I got to say, it's time for people to stop just not respecting millennials. They really are a key part of all the things that are going on.
They are leading this generation right now. So.
Yes, they are. And then this is the last one. This is just kind of funny. Nothing more to read into it other than IKEA. IKEA is now selling tiny homes and no assembly required. You can see an example in a picture. It looks kind of cute, but I know I am personally not ready for a tiny home, but I know that there are people that are.
187 square feet. That's smaller than a one-car garage.
Yeah. I am almost thinking it's smaller than the office I'm in at this moment.
Seriously, that's that's pretty tiny.
Yeah. But you know what? Everybody has a passion. And there's something right for everybody. It's just a matter of being able to find it. And if your dream home is a tiny home and you just need some land, we can help you.
I want to see one. And my daughter has been. I don't know that IKEA has any samples at their showroom.
Do they have any standing inventory?
Right. Exactly. That would be pretty cool. If we could go and walk through a tiny home.
Well, the IKEAs, they certainly are big enough to have a tiny home inside.
Right.
I mean, they're like a world inside there.
They totally are. And what's ironic is that my daughter, for the last 2 weekends, has been saying, "Mommy, let's go to IKEA." And I'm like, why? Maybe she knows about the tiny home or something. I don't know.
Yeah. They have meatballs. Everybody wants the IKEA meatballs, I believe.
I've heard of it, but
the Swedish meatballs? Oh yeah, all the time.
Really?
Yeah. And actually, over in Tillicum, there is now a meatball mania. I think it's Manic Meatball, actually. And that is exactly what they do. They've got a drive-through on the side, and you can go through and you can order meatballs.
And that's their specialty.
It's in the name, Manic Meatballs.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. That's good.
Okay. Well, we've passed 9 o'clock.
Yes.
Hopefully you guys have learned something through the day. If you ever have any questions, drop them in the comments, private message us. We would love to help you out. If there's anything that you want to know a little bit more about, whether it's something to do with the real estate industry itself, that's why we do Town Talks on Monday. We talk about a lot of things going on, even people associated to real estate, to help you get a bigger, fuller understanding of the process. Over here on Fridays, we try to give you a little bit of market information, a few headlines, help you understand what's going on from that impact. And if there's anything you want to know, let us know, and we would love to help you out.
Absolutely. And so this is the time. Donna loves the meatballs. Awesome. Yeah. First I've heard of it, but it's all good. Maybe I'll let you know this weekend if I make it to IKEA and get some meatballs. So, all right, well, we'll wrap up. We will be back on Monday. We will have a guest, and we're always, as you mentioned, always, trying to give information and education out to you. We're going to be talking about moving in the moving industry. And so we are going to have a guest from A&E Relocation, who's going to talk about moving and storage industry and what we need to do to be prepared to move. So,
Okay.
so that'll be a fun discussion on Monday. And this weekend, it's, going to be bold and beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, and one last little tag in there, Davian. If you are somebody who is affiliated with the real estate industry, and you want to talk a little about what you do, we'd love to have a conversation with you and possibly invite you in as a guest on Talent Talk and on the on Community Spotlights. If you know a business that is within the community that you think really deserves a spotlight on it, it's one of the things that we would like to start to do. We've done a few. We'd like to be a little more consistent in that. So if you know somebody that you think deserves a spotlight on their business or could use a spotlight on their business, let us know. We'd love to reach out to them as well.
Absolutely. So, all right. So we'll count down to our Be Bold, and again, just our proclamation of keeping your head above your circumstances and doing something great that is outside of yourself and being bold in your actions. So you want to count us down, Jurgen?
Absolutely. On 3, we'll all say and declare, be bold together, and then just have a phenomenal day. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Be bold.
Be bold.
Woo.
Have a great weekend.